Okay, for those of you that are involved in paper crafting, you probably hear this question a lot. I know I do. They ask, how do you organize your little smaller pieces? You know, how do you keep them? Is it by color? Is it by this? Is it by that? And I think for me, personally, I have it like two different ways. I have it by category. You know, I have different drawers where I keep all of my stuff that has to do with gardening and birds and flowers, and that's all in one drawer. And then I have another way of also organizing, and it's by color because I like to do different types of glue books, and for some reason I enjoy doing them by color as opposed to category. So I have two different ways that I do it. So then it's, okay, how do you store them? What do you store them in? All right, well, it's been, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago? I don't remember. It was close to when I first started doing all of this gluing stuff. I made this. I made this out of a book, and I decided to store my little things I would cut out of magazines by the color. So my little thing fell off here, but this is for my pinks. This is for my browns, black, my yellows, my purples, my oranges, lighter blues, reds, greens, and my darker blues. As you can see, it's quite full. But for me, it really works, because if I'm working on a glue book that is just all, say, yellows, I know they're all right here. I go right to it, and I have all my things that I want to put in my yellow book. Super simple. Okay. It's not going to work for everybody. Some people like to be more organized. I don't mind the clutter. You know, I kind of enjoy it. It helps me be more creative if there's a little bit of clutter. If it's all nice and tidy, it's like you don't want to mess it up. Okay, so then I was watching, what was I watching? I can't remember. You know how you start clicking? I don't know what I was doing, but I came across this lady that was offering a workshop for this little, I don't even know what she called it. She had a very thick accent, and I couldn't quite catch what the name of this was. But she said she had fashioned it from a dollhouse card. I didn't know what that was. So I went over, of course, to YouTube and Pinterest, and I'm typing in dollhouse card. And one thing led to another, and I kind of sort of found the thing that she was making. It's not exactly, but it's similar. And you ladies that are into crafting, paper crafting, you've probably seen this 100 times and know exactly what it is. You know, it's one of these things. One more goes there. And I know you're shouting at me right now. You know the name of it. It probably has 10 different names. But she had made that, and when I looked at it, I don't know, just something went off in my head, and I go, wait a minute. I think if you made it bigger, this could be a way of organizing. If you're the type that does it by colors or does it by category, this might work. And so I thought, I'll just make a bigger version. Now, for those of you that are newer to crafting like I am, all you do is you get whatever size you decide to make. You get a square piece of whatever size you want. These, I made this mock one up from a 6x6. And it's super simple because all you have to do is you fold it in half, And then you fold it in half again. And then on one of these quarters, you cut down halfway. Then on this over here, here's the cut. You go this way to the left. On this one, you fold it on a diagonal. Which I didn't do a very good job, but you get the idea. And then you have it go the opposite way. And you go like this. And there you go. Let me just real quick. I don't have the other kind of tape. Let's just put this cheapy tape down so you can see exactly how this works. Whoops, I'm confusing myself. It's real simple, ladies. It's real simple for me to confuse myself. If I get confused by this, you know I'm in bad trouble. Okay, so then you would tape these back to back, and it would fold up, and she had it tied with a little bow, and then and you just open it up, and she would send it off as a card that you could write things, you could put things in, whatever it is you choose to do. Okay, that was the principle behind what I decided to make. So I thought, all right, I need something a lot bigger. So I decided the biggest thing I had was my manila folders. So I decided what was the largest square I could get out of this, and it turned out to be, I think it was 15 by 15, I think. And that was the largest that I could get. So I cut the square out, and I did exactly what we did with this one. And so I did, I think, about 5 or 6 of those, and I stuck them together just like I did like this. And this is what I came out with. I know, it's big. Now, so far, all I've done is glued it together so I could, show you the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and figure out how I'm going to fill it up and what I'm going to fill it up with, and then I'll show you what I ended up doing. But you can see how gigantic this is, and how, in theory, how you could, like, on some of these, instead of, when I glued them together, like, say I'm going to go ahead and glue these two together here. Well, instead of gluing them all together just flat, some of them I folded them down, like I did on this one, to create a flap. On others, I glued all 3 sides and left the top open, like I did on here. The top is open. I just folded it down so I could be able to see what was in there. And then still on others, I left the side open. So you can create little pockets. Then every so often, I put a little gusset on here, which allowed it to open up even more. So I can put things in there. The only thing that was left over from this was a couple of strips on the sides, which was this. So I took these out and decided to put some tabs. So if I decide to do this by colors, then I can put the name of the color here on the side. Or if you decided to do it by subject, you could put the subject. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and decide what I'm going to put in this. But you can see it can hold a lot of stuff. And you only need to have one open at a time depending on what you're doing. And you can lay things down. I thought if you're working on a particular project or a certain subject and something comes to mind that you want to look for, or just brainstorming on a certain item, you have all this surface right here that you could write down your little notes concerning that particular project. And then you have a quick reference because it goes right with whatever subject or color that you're working with, and all your stuff will be in here. Anyway, so I wanted to show it before I start cluttering it up, and you don't really see how the bare bones look. But this one here, I have it opened right here. I have an opening here. This one has a flap this way. And it also is open here on the side, open on top, gusset, side, and a little flap here, open on top, and there. So there you go. From this to this. And but like I say, it could be any size. This may be too big for you. Obviously this is too small. Maybe something, in the middle is just right for you. But just wanted to let you see how it starts off, and then I will let you see what I end up doing with it.